What's going on, everyone? Skylights here. And today I wanted to do a quick video, a little bit out of the norm from what I said I was going to do, but I wanted to do a quick video talking over prop Paladin real quick. So I'm here on my prop Paladin, right? And I wanted to talk really quickly on like how you should be tanking, what the gear you should be getting, what you're kind of looking for. Just a quick overview of how I've been doing in TBC, because I kind of stopped doing videos, live streaming it, because it just doesn't feel like the kind of great content that it used to be back in the day. But I wanted to do a quick rundown on this quick. This guy's running away, so I wanted to check it real quick, because he's a good example of what I'm saying, right? So we have tanks in TBC nowadays that just kind of really don't have a vision on what they're supposed to be getting, the enchants they're supposed to be doing. They're just kind of gearing like a warrior, and they're not really doing the research to kind of figure out what they really should be gearing for. Now, if we look at this guy, right, he has Iron Gauntlets of the Maiden here, and he put 15 strength on this thing, right? I almost cannot stress enough how useless of an enchant that is. This strength doesn't do anything for him. I mean, it may give him a tiny bit more melee attack power, which doesn't do really anything for your threat. And it gives him maybe the slightest bit of block, right? Which he can just get it. He can just get a way better enchant, something like threat to gloves, right? Or honestly, even this Tem Stam would be better. Right? Now, this is a terrible enchant. I want to let you know, right? This is like, I believe it's the Knot Hide armor that you get, and you can put 10 stam on it. They're like a gold or two on the auction house. But it's a great budget option for any tank that doesn't really want to spend the crazy gold, maybe on something that's not bis yet. Because it's still going to do the job of what you're trying to do, which is get your health as high as possible and attain defense cap when necessary, right? Like usually when you're tanking raid bosses, heroics, you're gonna maybe need that. You can get away with it if your healer's great enough and you stack on some resil to kind of get yourself over defense cap, right? With resil, if you're like at 485, you get some resil. It kind of bumps you up, but it doesn't give you the avoidance. Things like that, right? Now, if you look at other things, he's trying to do the socket bonuses, right? Like, if you look here, he's doing the socket bonus, socket bonus, socket bonus, socket bonus, socket bonus, you know what I mean? And these socket bonuses, he's gone now, so I can't really exemplify it. But I got what I needed to get out of him, which is essentially he's doing the socket bonuses, right? And if you look here at my gear, no socket bonus, right? No socket bonus, none. This one does because they're blue anyway. No socket bonus. None. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not doing that, right? And the reason why is because as a tank, you need to at least, especially right now, when these bosses are pumping you and we don't have the craziest skill level players playing TBC WoW anymore, especially in Pugs. Right? Like, you need to get as much health as possible to compensate for the massive chunks that you're going to get. Right? Because you're going to get hit for like 6k, 8k, 9k. Right? And if you don't have the health, you're going to get one shot, right? Or you're going to get basically one shot. And even if you got like one healer on you, say it's a priest, right? Dropping a greater heal on you, you go to 1k. They 6k you for a heal, and then you're at 7k, but you're still going to die from one hit, right? So, health, very important. And I want to stress enough that the socket bonuses are just not that useful, especially when you're gearing as a tank. You want as much stam as possible, and then past that, you're going to want defense cap. Past that, you're going to want some avoidance on you, right? At least, you honestly want to at least get, 90% avoidance. Now, when I use my shield, right, and I'm going to put on this Libram here, wherever it is. Cannot find it. Right here. If I put on my shield, also this is very big, by the way, extended character stats. If you do not have this add-on, please get it. It's very big. It just, you know, gives you more of an overview of what you have going on for your stats. But if you look here at my defense, I have an avoidance of 57.3. Right now, if I use my shield, I'm now at 92.63. I'm over 90% avoidance. Now, it's possible to get up to like 98, 99. And you really should try to get that, but you know, 92% definitely good. It's you know, it's gonna 8% chance. You're gonna be all right, right? Spell power, right? Spell power. Sorry, spell power so big, right? Spell power is your way you're getting threat as a tank, and man, you gotta stack it, right? And the harder hitting DPS that you're going to deal with, right? Ideally, your DPS are doing crazy numbers, right? Over 1k, right? You're going to need a lot of spell power to hold the aggro on them, right? Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that whatever you're tanking stays on you, right? So I have, personally, 484 bonus damage. Actually, this is a lie because I have this wizard oil on. But you should always get one of these wizard oils, by the way. If you do not have a shaman for Wind Fury, dude, just stack up on these wizard oils, man. You can even get the 24 spell power wizard oils. Those are perfectly fine. I mean, it's still going to give you a 24 spell power boost. It gives you crit rating as well, which is not crazy good. But I mean, you know, you could crit a little bit more with your judgments, right? Which is nice, right? Judgment, by the way, used to be in Classic basically Paladin's only way of like snap threading and like taunting off of people, right? Literally, Judgment, Seal of Righteous Judgment was the way you taunted. Now we have Righteous Defense, which is very great. But you know, this is still like huge, right? This is your snap threat. It's your only snap threat, just so you know. You can snap threat with Exorcism if the guy is undead or a demon. But if it's not, this is your snap threat, right? I also want to go over the fact that Hammer of Justice, okay? Hammer of Justice is an incredible ability for tanks, and you should be using it. If at any point your Hammer of Justice is off cooldown and you're tanking more than honestly, even just one mob, but definitely if you're tanking 2 or more, you should be dropping that on cooldown. This thing is a 5-second, I'm not getting hit by this mob, right? So pick the hardest hitting mob, hammer that thing, right? Very, very big. Other than that, I want to let you know that there's some very useful items out there that you guys could be using as tanks, especially when you're talking over strats on bosses, right? And these things I want to stress are very important for that exact reason. The white smoke flares, the green smoke flares, the purple smoke flares, these smoke flares, okay, they're relatively cheap, and they do, well, what you would think they do. They drop a flare. And this is extremely, oh my god, can you drop it, bro? Oh, I can't? What? Oh, I can't use it here. Why can't I? Awkward? I'm gonna walk outside of Shatra? I guess you can't use it in a city? Hello? What the fuck? There has to be some kind of reasoning for that. But what these do is they drop a marker on the ground for you to be able to explain things, right? So if you're like, say on Mag, right, and you're trying to explain the boss fight, something as simple as like, okay, hey, group 1 gonna go right... Why can't I use this, bro? Hello? I'm still in Shatra. Bro, get me out of here. If you're like, okay, hey, group 1, I need you to go right here, right? And then, okay, we're going to tank this right here, right? And then you can use different colors for these as well to kind of, you know, make it a little easier for people. You could be like, say this is a green one. You could be like, okay, green is melee, right? And then you could be like, purple is ranged, right? It just gives people a visual on what they're actually supposed to do. And I cannot stress enough how much visual representation can really make the difference when you're explaining a boss fight to people, right? If you are just showing them a sheet and saying, hey, do this thing, you'd be surprised how many people cannot follow the sheet. It's, I don't know, the attention span of individuals nowadays. But please, if you can, as a tank, do yourselves a favor, buy these markers, right? And then anytime you need to explain something position-wise to anyone, it's just so easy for you to do it, right? Big tip. Please get the markers, use the markers, okay? Other things to worry about are things like Iron Shield Potion, okay? Especially now, and I'm going to tell you, as a Paladin tank that is very well geared, okay? I am very well geared. I can tell you, at least for this phase, right? I can tell you that you're going to still need this. Right, if I'm stacking full avoidance, I'm talking I put on this immovable girdle, I'm talking I put on the band of sentry, right, and we're looking at, what, 96% avoidance here, like, I get 4% chance to actually get fucking hit, and I'm telling you, even with all of this, you'll still get one shot. You can still get one shot, because these bosses just hit like tanks. Yesterday, perfect example. Of course, I didn't stream it. I didn't make a video of it, but I can explain to you that yesterday we did a Gruul mag, and man, I watched it myself. There was literally nothing that these healers could really do about the damage that hit me, right? I'm fully geared, and Gruul, I was Malgar, actually. Malgar hit me for like 9k, and then thrashed me again for 5k. I mean, I got hit for 15k in a millisecond. You know what I mean? And it just happens. You know, so very, very important that you stack as much avoidance as possible. And anything like Iron Shield potions, man, you got to use these. Just that extra difference of damage. Very, very helpful. Always make sure you have mana pots, right? Because at no point at all should you ever be low on mana. And I'm not kidding, right? If you are at 10% mana and, you know, you're getting hit hard by the boss, right? But your healers have mana, you're not dropping an Iron Shield potion. You're dropping a mana potion because you want to continue to hold the threat. And if at any point you go your threat's gone. You're auto-attacking with Seal of Righteousness, praying to God they don't get past that, and they will if they are anything competent of a DPS. So, make sure you always have mana pots. They are huge. They will save your life. Past that, I would say you want to get stuff like spell power, food, very important. Of course, you want a flask up, but even if you don't have a flask, stuff like Greater Arcane Elixir mixed with Elixir of Major Defense, very good, right? And then you can obviously stack the Iron Shield potion onto that, so you're getting 3k extra armor for 2 minutes, right? And then you're still having 550 for the entire hour, right? Very, very helpful. Please use these things. Consecrate should just always be down. If it's not, you're probably wrong. You should always be using Holy Shield. If you're not, you're probably wrong. And I want to let you know that Seal of Wisdom is insanely important for you. If you can, and I want to be I want to stress this very heavily, right? If you are in a dungeon, let's say you're in a dungeon, right, and you're running up to a mob, heroic even, right? Big hitting mob, Arcatraz heroic, right? Let's say it's that. And you're walking up to the big Eridor dude who has the huge sword, he's got the aura going on, he hits like a tank, right? If you are walking up to that mob, right, obviously you want to keep the mana, right? If you're walking up to that mob, you have two options in that regard, right? If your DPS is kind of lagging behind, and you think you have some time on that before they start hitting it, right? You're gonna run up, you're gonna Seal of Wisdom, and you are gonna instantly go to Seal of Righteousness, and you're just gonna consecrate, right? All in one motion, you are going to do boom. Oh, well, I fucked it up. Hold on. You're gonna go boom, boom, righteousness. And then at this point, if you have good DPS, right? If you have good spell power, rather, you should hold this with just your consecrate until you can get the judgment from your Seal of Righteousness. It's just little things like this that are very important, and I always see tanks do it, right? Though I've seen them do it, where they walk up with Seal of Wisdom, and they go like this, and they go boom, and then they put another Seal of Wisdom up, and then they'll consecrate, right? They're just like wasting a global, right? And then before they can even get that consecrate down, a hunter's pumping an aim shot into that, and then this mob is running to fucking Narnia over here, right? And then now your consecrate's over here. It's still on 6-second cooldown. Now you gotta run all the way over here. You gotta pray that this judgment actually hits, doesn't resist, right? And then if that, then you need to use your seal. You need to use your righteous defense, right? If that resists, then you're just fucked, right? You know, and we want to cut out every bad scenario possible when we're doing something like tanking, right? We don't want the aggro on anyone at all other than yourself, right? So, very important. I'm not going to go too much further into this. Make sure you're using your cooldowns all the time, guys. Like, these should just be used on cooldown, right? Always use your icon. Make sure you get this, by the way. Very important. This is something that you're going to understand as a prop paladin going into the rest of TBC, that you're always going to have some kind of on-use trinket that's going to give you incredible amounts of spell power, and you're going to need to use it, right? It's huge. It's snap threat. It's once again snap threat, right? You can run up to a mob, right? You can drop the consecrate, and then if you don't think that that's going to do enough aggro in terms of ticking, and you can just drop this real quick, you're good, right? It's so much of a spell power increase. It should save you. That's all I really have to say for you guys, right? Yo, thank you for watching. Just a quick little video. I just wanted to get this out there for people who are tanking, that you should really just be watching the stuff that you are actually gearing for, and don't gear like a warrior, okay? Now, we need avoidance, but we don't need every single slot filled with defense, dodge, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you need spell power, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to hold the boss. And if you have 90 parsers in your group, they're going to steal that from you, man, if you don't have enough spell power. They just will steal the aggro from you, no matter how hard you're clicking your buttons, no matter how much you're going on global for all of your stuff. They will steal it from you. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. Take care.